World Light Heavyweight Full Contact Championship fight between Rick the Jet Roufus and Luc Verheye.
Yeah, Roufus, very impressive record right now. He's just coming to this match at 39-1, Chuck, and he's been looking very good. Luc Verheye right now with a record of 46 wins with 1 draw and 6 losses. Obviously a very strong European contender.
The only blemish on Rick Roufus's record was a loss to Marek Petrowski.
Right, yeah, that's a surprising loss to some, but Marek was on a roll at the time and beating a lot of very good people. And actually, Rick did beat him back. Well, boy, that was a great axe kick there. Roufus can really nail those if Verheye doesn't make sure he's out of the way.
The Jet is known for those kicks.
You know, yeah, spectacular kicking skills. Just he can throw any kind of kick from any kind of angle. He's just got so much experience with that kicking. I guess he's been doing martial arts all his life. And it really shows in the ring. Boy, that was a strong left hand, too.
Little different look by Rick Roufus, sporting a beard in this fight.
That's right, yeah. It's, I suppose you'd say fashionably bearded. It's, fighting out of a right stance at the moment. Luc Verheye with the left foot forward in the black pants. Roufus, of course, wearing his Stars and Stripes outfit. Very patriotic pair of karate pants there.
Luc Verheye is one of a number of fighters, a very strong stable of fighters out of Amsterdam, Holland.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Very, very strong camp indeed. People like Ernesto Hoost and, of course, Rick Kamen. Rob Kamen, of course, had that fight with Roufus just a little while ago, and Roufus came out the winner on that one after 12 rounds of action. A beautiful spinning back kick right into the face of the young Luc Verheye there. Roufus got him pinned in the corner at the moment. Verheye doesn't want to stay there.
Round 1 so far has been all Rick Roufus.
That's right, yeah, he's been stalking Verheye around the ring and countering every time Verheye tries to kick.
That's the bell as we end round number 1. This one's scheduled for 12 rounds for the ISKA World Light Heavyweight Championship under full contact rules.
Now, I said it's a very strong round there for Rick Roufus. A very good showing at the beginning. You know, not all fighters can come out and start right from the first bell, just taking it to their opponent. But Rick Roufus does that, and I thought he had it all over Luc Verheye in the first round. I think that the young Dutchman's got to get off a little bit quicker in the second round if he wants to stand a chance to really get into this match. And a little bit of action there, that looping left leg roundhouse kick from Roufus, following with a spinning kick. Verheye took it on the gloves, but it still probably banged him a little bit, knocking him back against the ropes. Yeah, we'll see it from this different angle, Chuck. There he goes, knocking his gloves actually back into his face a little bit. I don't think it hurt him, but not something that he wants to have happen round after round.
Round 2 action begins for the ISKA World Light Heavyweight Full Contact title.
Yeah, Roufus still working out of the right stance, using the left leg there and back leg roundhouse kick.
Luc Verheye seems to be a little confused by the kicking skills of Rick Roufus at this point.
Right, the European fighters from Holland in particular are not as well known for their kicking skills as the American fighters. And of course, Rick Roufus right now is building a reputation as one of the great kickers in the sport. And I guess that Luc Verheye is probably not used to dealing with the kind of kicks that Roufus is throwing at him.
Well, Luc Verheye is a full contact fighter, though.
Yeah, he is a full contact fighter. At the same time, like most of the Dutchmen, he'll go with the leg kicks as well in the freestyle rules. But he doesn't seem to be having any difficulty at all managing the full contact rules at this stage. Just having a lot of difficulty managing Rick Roufus. That was a strong left hand there from Roufus. Caught him going backwards a little bit. Roufus stalking him.
A little coy there.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, he's playing with him just a little bit.
And a slip from Roufus.
Yeah, there won't be a knockdown on the judges' scorecards for that one. Just a slip on the floor as he was going in. Beautiful right hand. Just countered right off the kick. He loves to do that. When he sees the fighter setting up the kick, he'll just come right in and counter. A little bit of a clinch there.
Round 1 was all Rick Roufus. Round 2 so far, Luc Verheye continues to find himself with his back against the ropes, and that's going to mean trouble for him.
Well, that's right, because Roufus has tremendous power in those punches. He just landed 2 good shots into Verheye when he was back in the corner there. And yeah, he's knocked a lot of people out with those punching techniques, and of course with his kicks as well. He actually KO'd Marek Petrowski with a left leg roundhouse kick.
He loves to set him on the ropes and then come with the spinning back kick.
That's right. Yeah, he's got tremendous skill just to move freely from his hands to his feet. There's something that you don't see in all the fighters. A lot of them will either kick or punch. But Rick likes to just switch back and forth as we finish up the round there.
Robert, the first 2 rounds on my scorecard go toward Rick Rufus's corner, and Rick's come out real strong, as he usually does.
That's right. Yeah, I think that definitely the first 2 rounds, very strong rounds for Rick Rufus. I have no doubt that the judges will score it that way. He just has looked very, very good so far. His timing seems to be good. He's scoring fairly freely, and here we'll see a great left hand over the top, right when Luc Verheye was going to kick. What happens sometimes with these fighters is they have to make their 8 minimum kicks per round under the full contact rules. And fighters like Roufus will wait until they see a kick coming in, and as soon as the fighter is getting set to kick, they'll close the distance and counter with a hand strike, basically stopping the man in his tracks and catching him with 1 foot off the floor. Very, very bad position to get caught in. And Roufus did that consistently throughout the round.
Let me pose this to you. Is this something that they have time to think about? I mean, if a fighter goes through halfway through the round and sees that his opponent has not thrown that many kicks, can he start to look for a kick at that point, knowing that that fighter's got to put in 8 kicks in the round?
If he's as experienced as Rick Roufus, yes, he can. Roufus has that kind of experience to where he can see these opportunities as they arise and just pick them up spontaneously.
It's kind of a cat and mouse game then.
It is. It becomes like a chess game at this level. And definitely fighters like Rick Roufus who have that awareness can utilize this kind of a strategy against a fighter like Luc Verheye, who looks a little bit out of his league at the moment. He's a highly ranked world contender, but he's not looking in the same class as Rick Roufus in this fight.
One of the stable of fighters that fights out of the Majiro gym in Amsterdam.
That's right. Very strong stable, but so far they haven't had any luck fighting against Rick Roufus. We saw Rob Kamen come to grief, and right now it's all going Rick Rufus's way in this fight.
Luc Verheye is going along the same way as Rob Kamen did. It looks like almost exactly the same fight.
Yeah, right now he's having a lot of difficulty just coping with Rufus's power also. He's a little bit of a smaller man than Rob Kamen, I think, and Roufus just seems to be able to power through his blocks at times and nail him anyway.
And he's also taken a trip down the street. I don't think he wants to go down, which could be a dead-end street in the fact that he's reaching with every single one of his punches.
That's right. He's not really comfortable finding his distance at the moment. Roufus seems to have the distance and the timing completely under his control.
Rick Roufus in the Stars and Stripes of the United States. He's the current ISKA World Light Heavyweight Champion under full contact rules. Puts his title on the line against Holland's Luc Verheye. I'm Chuck Bennett along with Robert Heel, Executive Director of the ISK. Glad you're with us for another evening of sport kickboxing.
Oh, look at that jumping, spinning back kick. We're finishing up round 3. Beautiful technique.
We have 3 rounds in the books. 3 rounds on my scorecard to the side of Rick Roufus.
Oh, I'd definitely say so. Finishing up the round as he did there with that jumping, spinning back kick, that's a hard technique for people to learn in the gym, let alone to throw in the middle of a world title fight like that. Very, very confident, obviously, at the moment, young Rick Roufus. You see him here, he's getting a little Vaseline put on his face. He's got the casual look of the bearded man. And right now, I think his opponent's in trouble. You see Rufus's boot connecting right alongside Luc Verheye's head. And Rufus looking very confident at the moment.
Rufus's corner is telling him, you're jamming your kicks. Don't jam your kicks.
Right, yeah, the distance is very critical, obviously, for a kicker like Roufus. He didn't quite get the distance he wanted on that jump back kick at the end of the round. Of course, that is a hard kick to set up, but he's looking to try and get the distance on his kicks, and no fighter wants to jam himself. That's the job of his opponent.
Jean-Claude Van Damme ringside with Dieter Diafat.
That's right. Jean-Claude has been putting in a lot of appearances at ISK fights the last couple of years. He's a big fan of the sport. Of course, we're a big fan of his movies. Rick Roufus here coming out kicking already, beginning of the round here. Nice looping left leg roundhouse kick from Roufus there.
This is round 4, a scheduled 12-rounder for the ISKA World Light Heavyweight Championship under full contact rules. Rick Roufus in the Stars and Stripes of the United States, and it's Luc Verheye of Holland in the black pants.
Boy, Roufus just powered through him there. It was not really anything clean landing, but just a lot of power on the combination.
A strength in the legs is what put Luc Verheye off balance on that when he fell backward toward the corner.
That's right, and Rufus just teed off on there with the right-left combination.
And it was a right hand to the midsection that's forced Luc Verheye to the canvas.
Well, yeah. And caught him there, probably right on the floating rib. It looked just dug it right. I don't think he's going to get up, Chuck.
I don't think so either.
Nope.
He doesn't beat the count, and Rick Roufus has successfully defended his world light heavyweight full contact title.
Yeah, that was incredible. He just flurried in there with that combination of kicks and punches, and then followed on with that sharp body shot that just must have dug right into his ribs and taken all his wind. Very popular man with the Paris crowd right now. Rick Roufus has built quite a following for himself here in France.
He's quite a character in the ring.
Well, definitely, you know, at any sport you have to play a little bit to the fans, and Rick Roufus knows that. And he's got a tremendous following here in France. They really respect him now from seeing him do this kind of damage to top athletes from around the world, and particularly from Holland. He's had a couple of good wins against Dutch fighters.
In close, there's the right hand.
Yep. Yeah,
that one basically set up the shot that put the fight to an end.
That's right, yeah, he had that right hand and then the left overhand. There's the left leg roundhouse kick, and boom, there was
down.
That quick shot into the body there that just took all his wind.
Fighters will tell you that the shot that they want is that short distance, 12 to 18 inches. That's all they need.
That's right. Especially a top athlete like Rick Roufus. He can hurt you at that distance, and he just landed a very clean shot there right into the body of Luc Verheye. And I'm sure that the overhand left that he took just before, it didn't help. But he just dug that left leg roundhouse kick in there, followed up with his flurry, and then boom, down he goes. Very strong fight for Rick Roufus. Very, very impressive young man. You can see a little bit of a different angle here. But all we see is the same shot of Luc Verheye going down there.
So Rick Roufus a winner, and we'll be back in just a moment.